folks, it's your boy Kenny just coming back with another video. I figured I'd just make a real quick one about deliveries. I'm in a transitional period and it's a simple life. We don't use cars, we use e-bikes because we have something else we're chasing. We're not trying to invest too much money and time and effort into other things that's going to divert us from what we're really trying to do, which is make stuff out of wires. So this is the bike. Since it's the simple life, this is the bike I'm messing with now. It's really small, compact. As you can see, it's foldable. It's right here in my apartment. It doesn't go anywhere. And anytime I want to make a delivery, I just take it outside with one hand, open it up, do a delivery, come back, bag $200, come back home, chill, work on the real shit. So I've had this bike for about 8 months now, and I've not had any single electrical problem, which is really good. But yesterday I had a problem with the tires. So I ordered a brand new pair of tubes from Amazon, which should be arriving tomorrow. I worked today, and I had to use the rental bikes, which I didn't want to. I used the rental bikes, and I'm thinking about maybe I should fuck with the Revo too. The Revo doesn't look that bad, but I think it's costly. They charge like 18 bucks for a day. Those are good for people who are really, really invested into this and they want to work like sun up to sundown. I only work in the evening periods, so I work in the evenings. I do about 3 hours, 4 hours, and after that I'm Gucci. I don't have to do all the sun up to sundown because during the daytime when I start my day, get a cigarette, get a cup of coffee, and I work on my shift for about 8 hours, and after that, and that's pretty much been my routine for a good minute now. So here's the thing. So since I'm not riding this bike now, I want to. This bike has like a problem, not electrical, but because these bikes are no longer being made, this exact model. It's like I try to order the part from the company, and they said this bike is out of. They're not making this anymore. So if this is toast, which is it is, because I can't keep driving it. It's not an electrical problem, but it's a serious problem. The front fork area is no longer. It has like there's something wrong with it. It's shaking out of control. It's like it's really shaking out of control. And since it's shaking out of control, I can't drive it anymore like that. I mean, I could still drive it though, but it's like a ticking time bomb. I don't know when it would just like go out of commission, right? So because of that, I have to get another one. And guess what? Since they're not making this anymore now, I have to, come. They have to. They just came up with another model. It's this one, but this is the L2. The new model they just came out with is the L3. I made, if you go back on my videos, like sometime late last year, right in August, I made a video when I just got this one, and I made another video giving you guys the updates on when how it's been after like a month or 2 months. I think I made 3 videos on this bike. So go back and watch that video. This is the L2, but the one that I showed you that it has like shocks in the front and shocks in the back and da 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 da, all the good shit. But now they just came up out with the L3. So even though they're not making this one now, because if they still made this one, I would have just ordered the front fork, which is the problem I'm having with this one right now. But since they're not making this one, the front fork of the L3 would not be compatible with the front fork of this one. And since the front fork of the L2 will not be compatible with the front fork of this one, then I guess I got to just make buy the L3. So I didn't want to buy it at first because they removed some things that were on this one, and they took it out, and the L3 doesn't have it. I think the probably reason why they stopped the production of this one was because I think they realized they gave too much in this bike. A bike that's $800. They gave you a 20-hour battery, right? Full throttle, you will ride all day and still have power left. what a lot of people that ride like the typical fancy bikes for deliveries, what they have to deal with is they have to carry two batteries, and I don't want that stress. We live in the simple. This is the simple life, So we don't do the whole ride around with two batteries, or when your battery is down, go back home and charge it. We don't want that stress over here. So rather than do that, we just get a bike with a really big battery that's gonna last us. And I don't even work all day, but I don't want to have to minimize. They have to minimize power and pedal assist so they don't burn out your battery. We don't do that here. So here we get a big ass battery bike, and that lasts us all through. So I am in the process of getting the L3. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one, because since they don't make production of this anymore, and that part, that front fork part that is having a problem, is since they're not making this bike anymore and they don't have the parts to send to me. I mean, after I get the L3, I'm just gonna have to dispose of this one, maybe take it to a bike shop, whoever wants to buy it. But the L3, they have taken a lot. They realized they gave too much on this, because this bike has typically everything. This brakes front and back, short shocks, front and back tire shocks. It has everything, plus 20-hour battery. I've not had a single electrical problem. It's fantastic. But in the L3, they took away some things and they gave more power on the battery. So this is 20 hours. The L3 is 23 hours, 23 amp hours. So they took away the shocks in the front and the back on the L3, and that's gonna look really uncomfortable. If you've ridden a bike that has shocks for a while, you would find it really uncomfortable to adjust to a bike that has no shocks. Because maybe I'll just get like a shocks on the seat, so that still gives you that bouncy feel when you drop down. But when you don't have shocks on your bike, you can't drop down on ramps, because you feel like you might hurt, damage a portion of the bike. So you just like try to keep it on on level ground. Um, yeah, but it's really uncomfortable to drive a bike without shocks, especially I've driven a bike with shocks on both tires for this long a time. So I think I'm gonna get the L3. Right now is being sold on Banggood for how much? 889. But I would not buy from Banggood, because I'm gonna spend 889, but it's gonna take a month to get to me. So rather, I will buy from Alibaba, from their headquarters in China, and have them. I'll buy for like $400, $500, and have them ship, fly it over to me. That way, it's gonna get to me in about a week. So that way, I don't have to wait for too long. I wouldn't have to wait for too long to receive it, and I can get right back to work. So I'll try to deal with this for another month per se, another week, and just order that one in the coming days. Hopefully, it'll get to me really soon. But other than that, that's where I'm at now. I had to say it for a while. I got another bike before this one. That was the Ingui. It claimed it was 20 amp hours, but it really wasn't 20 amp hours. And it claimed it was 400 watts for the motor, but it really wasn't 400 watts for the motor. So I really don't know. I think they lied a lot, so I had to send it back. Good thing is they gave me a complete refund. They gave me a complete refund after I sent it back. So that was not that bad. So I got that. It was a really nice looking bike, but it had no shocks, and it just felt really uncomfortable riding a bike without shocks. Being that, it's a small bike, I mean, let me have things that's necessary, all the things that's necessary on, all the amenities, so to make up for the shortcoming. So it's a small bike, but you definitely want to have everything. Like this one's a small bike, but it has all the luxury. It has shocks on the front, on both tires, giant, huge ass, big titties, batteries. So you can't go wrong. So maybe I'll just like add some modifications, but you cannot modify the shocks. There's no way you can put shocks on the bikes. It's not built for shocks, built with shocks. So that's really gonna hurt. So maybe I'll just put shocks on the seat. I think that's the best I can do. Remember, it's a simple life. We're not investing heavily in this. We try to make it as comfortable as possible. Safety comes first, of course, and focus on the real dream, the big dream. Yeah, so it's another way of leveling up while you focus on the big dream. So other than that, That's where it's been. I've not made a video in a while because I've been really consumed with the art. I've been going to pitch fests, looking for investors. So that's where it's been. That's where it's at. We're trying to level up out here. We're trying to, spread our wings. We're trying to, do big things. Definitely, life is short. Follow your dreams. Do what you gotta do. Other than that, I think that's where it's been at, and that's where it's been. So, so I think that's about it. What else do I want to touch on? Nothing more, pretty much. Yeah, Grubhub has just been like, I mean, I've been working for Grubhub for about a year or more now, and I would say it's been literally impossible to raise my ratings back to 100 simply because they bombard you with so many orders that no matter how much, you just cannot do those orders. I mean, especially when you're living a simple life, you don't want to drive too far to deliver a good. So you sort of like keep it within 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, just not too far away. So I just feel like, I don't know, the company is just like, they bombard your orders, don't get me wrong. Especially now that the algorithm has changed, it's been like a constant. Now society has opened up, they've been like really, really busy. But if you catch them on the wrong day, I tell you with Grubhub, you would have to turn down like 15 different messed up orders back to back that you just cannot do. I mean, you come to start the shift saying to yourself that nothing's gonna stop you, that you will, you will deliver as much so you can make as much. But when you see an order for $9 going 3 miles, like there's no way, nowhere on earth you want to do something like that. Like that's just fucking slavery. That's ridiculously stupid on their part. I was just thinking the other day maybe I should just start like a Facebook page, hit up a whole bunch of people who are working for Grubhub. If they share the struggle and they're going through the same thing, maybe we all can go to their offices, write their mission right before Denny's. Just camp out there with some signposts saying, Grubhub, you're not treating us right anymore. Things should be getting better with the company, not worse. People should be making more money, not less money. You tricked us into debate. You gave us debate that we're gonna get tips, but now we're not getting tips, and this is hurting our pockets. We're working more now. We're going further distances. I mean, if they have left the algorithm the same way it was and they cut the pay where they give you orders that's close to you, I mean that makes sense. But now they're giving you far away orders. They've changed the algorithm, so now you're going far. And I think I figured out how the algorithm works now. I figured out how the algorithm works. The algorithm with Grubhub now, I think it works per 8 mile per $8 per mile, somewhere around there. And to make it even worse, they don't your algorithm doesn't grab people who are close to orders anymore. It's gonna grab someone who is far away to make up that distance. It's like ridiculous, it's stupid, but when you understand the new algorithm, you know that this is what is going on. So I could be close to Denny's, like a block away from Denny's. Grubhub is not gonna grab me. Grubhub is gonna grab someone who is like half a mile away to come grab their order and take it, so the distance between is like a mile and half or something like that. They will pay you like $16. It looks really big at first, but when you understand that you're going 2 miles for that $16, then you realize that they're not giving you anything extra. They just It's just working by algorithm, which is like we adds up to $8 per mile or something like that. So it could be like 16.50 for 2 miles, but it's always like a long distance. Sometimes if you're lucky, you will get like a lot of orders around close to where you're at. But when it's really, really busy, be very, very careful. It's even better to not be on a schedule when it's busy with Grubhub than to be on a schedule, because you're just going to get bombarded with a whole bunch of orders that you cannot do, especially if you're on a bike and you're living a simple life. If you are not living a simple life and you really want to grind and, do this, like give it all you got, go wherever, then it's not a problem. But this is for people who are not really commit. They don't want to look like they're 100% committed to this. I mean, everyone should. I mean, this is what this channel's for. All right, so peace out. I'll let you guys know when I get that L3. I mean, we're different. You know, people have harassed me several times, make me feel bad. So why are you driving in such a small bike? But they don't understand that it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the. It's got nothing to do with the fanciness of the bike or how slick it looks or anything like that. It has more to do with the performance. Like this performs more than any other bike that all those people have. The Rad Power bike, this performs more than them because when you talk about performance, this bike can go a whole day and you don't have to worry about trying to save power so you don't run out of power. Like I see people, like at the end of their shift, they're like, they got orders, but they're not going fast on their orders. They're taking their time because they've lost all their power and they're pretty much down to one bar on their e-bike. Like I don't have to go deal with that. Like it doesn't matter what time you catch me, I'm going full speed because I have a bike that performs. It's all about performance to me, not about it's all about performance, not about fanciness. People are looking, oh, get the bikes that everyone in San Francisco gets, which is the Rad Power bikes, but Rad Power bike burns out after like 3 hours. Hemingway bike burns out after like 2, 3 hours. Those bikes, you take them up a hill and they're done. Like you're pretty much done. You're toast. But this bike, as small as it is, as compact as it is, this bike takes me up a hill. And I think the L3 is a little more rugged. It's all about performance. All the fancy shenanigans is not needed. So I'm kind of liking the way everything is set up. So maybe I'll get that. I also got the King electric skateboard. The King electric skateboard, I got that here. It's my very first skateboard that I ever got ever. It's not that bad, but for a first one, they lied. They said it goes 18 miles, but it don't. I think it dies out after like maybe 6 miles. When you hit about 6 miles, then you completely out of power. I've never really exhausted the power to zero, but I've used it to the point where it's like really low and it's not that good in going up hills. It gets really slow, but they tell you that it's 900 watts, which I don't think is true, which I think is a big bogus lie. And they also tell you it's dual motor, which I think is a lie too, because it's not dual motor. It's one motor which is in the back. All right, it's just one motor which is in the back of the bike. So I mean, you live and you learn, but with I'm looking forward to this L3. I wish I would get it on Amazon, but I don't think they're gonna get it on Amazon. I also want to make videos of myself while I'm out in the field working, and I think it would be cool if I had a some kind of GoPro type camera, so I don't have to like just use my phone all the time, but I can just talk into the camera and get it done. But guys, that's been it pretty much. That's where I'm at right now. Sometimes I think should I just get a car, but I mean, if I get a car, that would not be the simple life anymore. I would typically be just like everyone else, just and the cars you get to go a long distance, and I don't want to deal with that stuff. Like you got to commit to driving, obeying the rules of the road, rules of like it's just too much work for me. Like I don't want to have to deal with that. But maybe get a bus and live in a bus, tush it up, turn the change it into an apartment. Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, guys, that's been it with me. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.